Love Your Life.
Love your life.
Love Your Life, a show like no other, one that aims to inspire you to live a life you love. Choosing to be positive and having a grateful attitude is going to determine how you're going to live your life.
Love yourself.
Love yourself.
Love your day.
Love your day.
Love your life.
Love your life.
Love your life.
Love Your Life, prepared and presented by Sayyida Mayya Al Said.
Love your life.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Peace and blessings be upon you all. You're tuned in to your nation station. You know what time it is. It's time to love your life. This is your host, Mayya Al Said, also known as the Sewist on social media. Today is a topic that I personally struggled with for a long time. The topic is called Stop Seeking Perfection. Just a reminder that this is a live show. I am going to be with you from now 2:30 right up until 3:30, and the show will be repeated at 10 past midnight on your nation station. You are more than welcome. Actually, I'd love for you to call me and talk about this. Let me know your thoughts. Have you suffered with this? Because I'm about to break it down for you and tell you how it has affected me. And you can do so by calling 24 60 20 58, 24 60 20 58. Today in the studio with me is the lovely Safiya, sound engineer Safiya Al-Habsi, who would gladly transfer the calls over to me. But just a reminder, as I always do, as much as I love to hear from you, please only call me when it is safe to do so. I don't want you risking your life or the life of others around you. So, I have a confession to make. I am a recovering perfectionist. Truth of the matter is, I didn't even know that I was a perfectionist until about a couple of years ago. It took me that long to realize that I had this trait. And subhanAllah, at one point, I was really proud. I said, yeah, I'm a perfectionist. If you're probably wondering, what are you talking about, Mayya? What is a perfectionist? A perfectionist comes from the word perfect, meaning a perfectionist is a person who refuses to accept any standard short of perfection. So everything has to be right. Everything has to be perfect. So you can imagine how I used to live my life. It used to be horrible because everything had to be perfect, and if it was not perfect, then it was not good enough. And I am sure you can relate. Either you yourself have it, or you know somebody who does, and maybe you didn't know there was a name for it, but now you do, and it's called a perfectionist. And the thing is, to somebody who's like that, even when you try and do something, sometimes it will even stop them from doing it just because they know, no, if I do it, it will not be perfect. So can you imagine all the boundaries you are setting yourself to? I did, and alhamdulillah, I finally stopped being that way and changed myself. So that's why I'm saying I'm a recovering perfectionist. Just a reminder that this is a live show. As much as I love talking on the radio and sharing my ideas and thoughts, but this program will be nothing if it wasn't for you. So please call me by dialing 24 60 20 58, 24 60 20 58. Are you a perfectionist? Let me know. Did you recover from it, or are you still one? Are you still suffering from this trait? Let me know. What is a perfectionist? I am going to ask you a couple of questions to see if you are one. And if you are one, then how hopefully you can change. With a perfectionist, there are no room for mistakes. Means everything has to be perfecto. And if it isn't, then either you're not going to do it, or you're going to procrastinate because you know that whatever you end up doing is not going to be perfect. So there's no room for mistakes. A perfectionist is somebody who's very specific in doing things. And I laugh because I'm laughing. This is just talking about myself here. So it's somebody who's very specific in doing things. It's, either your way or the highway. And funny enough, it's very difficult to work with these types of people. Either they find it difficult to work with others, and vice versa. Other people find it very difficult to work with them because it's just there's no getting it right. It only has to be their way. So there's no teamwork. There's no, it's just my way. Kind of a bit dictatorial, if I should say. Another trait of a perfectionist is it's all or nothing. Either you do it well or you don't do it at all. Wow. Seriously, this is another thing that I personally would stop myself doing something, because I know that I don't maybe have everything that I need, or I'm already picturing the outcome in my mind and it's not looking the way I want it to look. So I totally can relate to this, and I'm so glad I no longer have that, and I'll explain to you why later on in the program. A perfectionist, it's all about the end result. They don't really care about how you get it done, as long as it looks, or the result is the way they want it to be. Is any of you relating to this? Can you see these traits in you? Call me, let me know. You can do so by calling 24 60 20 58, 24 60 20 58. We're talking about stop seeking perfection, and I'm just asking questions to see if you are a perfectionist or if you know somebody who's a perfectionist, and you need to tune into the whole show to find out how you can, inshallah, overcome this. A perfectionist is someone who is extremely hard on themselves. And another thing I can relate to, when things go wrong, you become very hard on yourself. And this is something that put me down. I used to put myself down. I didn't wait for other people to do it, although they'd be gladly. There are some people out there they're just waiting for you to make a mistake. But for me, I was not waiting for those people. I was there doing my own job. I didn't need them. And that was I don't know. This talks about my self-confidence at one point, which was very low. And alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, with believing in myself and other things that I did, I managed to change that concept. If you are a perfectionist, you become depressed when you don't achieve your goals. If things don't go your way, if the result was not the way you want it to be, you get depressed, you get sad, you get angry, frustrated. Basically, all the negative emotions you can feel, you would feel them just because things didn't go your way. That's a perfectionist. Of course, I'm going through these lists of things. Maybe they're a bit extreme to some people, but some of these traits are in some people, and they are perfectionists, and sometimes it's very limiting. And this is why I'm having it on the show, because I don't want you to have... It's nice to want to strive for perfection, but if you don't get there, it's okay. Guess what? It's life. Enjoy. We make mistakes. We move on. We laugh. We live. And that's how we're supposed to live our life. As you know, this show is called Love Your Life on your nation station. So this is what it's all about. I'm here to talk about topics that matter, to inspire you, to change things, even if it's just your thought, because thought can change your life. You're more than welcome to join me by calling 2460 2058, 2460 2058 on your nation station. This is your host, Mayya Al Said, and we're talking about stop seeking perfection. If you are a perfectionist, you have extremely high standards. You are right up there. Something low will not do. It has to be the best. And how much stress are you putting yourself into just so you can reach this high standard which nobody is setting except you? Until when and why? Nobody even thinks, okay, Mayya is going to have to be the best. Mayya just has to be Mayya, because that's who Mayya is. And guess what? Everyone is unique. Everyone has qualities. Everyone is already doing the best they can. And high standards, this is life, as I say. What are high standards? High standards to whom exactly? So these are things we are supposed to think about. Another thing, if you're a perfectionist, you don't enjoy your successes. You do not enjoy your successes. Guess what? Because you're thinking, I could have done that better. It was not perfect. The next time I should do this. You don't even realize you've achieved your goal and it was good. And other people think it was amazing, but here you are in your own misery. You haven't done good enough for yourself. Why? Stop bringing yourself down. This is not... Yes, Life is a test, but you're making your test harder for yourself. So don't do that. If you're a perfectionist, you procrastinate. If you remember, procrastinating in one of my episodes means that you stop doing or you find other reasons to do what you need to do. And you saw what I meant to say is you procrastinate just so you can do things at the right moment. The right moment goes with this perfectionism, this ideology. There's no right moment, okay? There's no right moment to do something. You just do it. Yes, there's sometimes that if you want to speak to somebody, you have to make sure that, you know, they're in a good mood. And I can imagine or I can understand where a good moment or the right moment is when to speak to somebody. But if not, there's no right moment. You just live your life. And how do you know if this right moment is ever going to show up? How do you guarantee? Are you going to be here tomorrow? No, we are not. There's no guarantee. So the right moment is right now. And the last thing is, you always tend to spot mistakes when others don't see. It goes back to you being so hard on yourself. What you did is not good enough for you. And even if other people don't see it, they think it's been a lovely show. You did so well. And you sit and you think, no, I didn't. So you spot mistakes that others don't see. You are a perfectionist. You need to change. And I'll tell you why after this break. Don't you go anywhere. Love your life.
Love your life.
There's so much more when you tune in and win daily with Oman FM's Ramadan Bonanza.
Ramadan Bonanza.
Amazing prizes and surprises every night this Ramadan with June live at the Muscat City Center. And get a chance to win a return air ticket to the exotic Maldives, Muscat, courtesy of Sri Lankan Airlines. All you got to do is just answer the question, what is the website of Sri Lankan Airlines? Then send an SMS to 90407. So, what are you waiting for? Start texting now. And don't forget to like us on our Facebook page, 90.4 Oman FM. Ramadan Bonanza, nightly from 8 to 9 p.m. with June, here on the Nation Station. Join now.
Initialize sequence now.
Join Oman Radio's big time giveaway this Ramadan and win a Lexus GS350 on the last day. It's so easy to join. Just send SMS with your full name to 90465 and be the lucky one to bring home a brand new Lexus GS350. The more you send, the more chances of winning. Oman Radio's big time giveaway this Ramadan. Join now. Ramadan Mubarak.
Love your life.
Love your life.
Love your life. A show like no other. One that aims to inspire you to live a life you love. Choosing to be positive and having a grateful attitude is going to determine how you're going to live your life.
Love yourself.
Love yourself.
Love your day.
Love your day.
Love your life.
Love your life.
Love your life.
Love Your Life, prepared and presented by Sayyida Mayya Al Said.
Love your life.
Welcome back to Your Nation Station. This is your host, Mayya Al Said, on your program, Love Your Life. Just a reminder that this is a live show. Today we are discussing Stop Seeking Perfection. You are more than welcome to call me. As I always say, I'd love to hear from you. All you have to do is call this number, 2460 2058, 2460 2058. As I always remind you, and you probably know it by heart, only call me when it is safe to do so. I don't want you risking your life or the life of others around you. Just a reminder that this show is right up until 3:30. There's a repeat of the show at 10 past midnight, and also all the episodes that have been aired on Your Nation Station will be up on my YouTube channel, The Sewist. Before the break, we were talking about being a perfectionist. I confessed that I was a perfectionist. I am no longer. I think I still have some traits, but I'm a work in progress. And I was asking you if you are one. And if you are, call me, let me know. Please tell me I'm not alone. So call me on 2460 2058, 2460 2058. And if you are one, I urge you, please stop. Stop being a perfectionist. You are on the route to the fastest way to becoming unhappy. And if you know what the show is about, it's all about positivity. It's all about happiness. Living the moment, enjoying what you have, being grateful for what you have. So if you're a perfectionist, you're limiting yourself to the great person that you can be, because you are so hard on yourself. If you remember the points that I talked about, and there's so much pressure to be perfect. How can we live a perfect life in an imperfect world? It holds you back. It holds us back. And this notion of being perfect, why? Please call me. Let me know what your thoughts. Why are we putting so much pressure on ourselves? You can do so by dialing 2460 2058, 2460 2058. I don't know if many of you know this, but once I wrote an article on Voice of Oman as part of Y magazine. And I did address this perfectionism. And I remember writing a little kind of, not a story, but, I would like to call it a story, but there's not much of an ending, but you'll see why. The thing with perfectionism is that it has a friend called fear of failure. End of story. Fear of failure, if you really think about it, is not really that bad, is it? But if you give it enough power, it can stop you from living your life. And it all starts with being a perfectionist. Because one trait of being a perfectionist, if we don't want anything to go wrong, and we want everything to be perfect. And when we do that, we're kind of, without saying it, limiting ourselves, and we are fearing to fail. And if we give in to that fear of failure, then we stop living our life, because there's so much we can do, but we won't do because we're scared to fail. As a perfectionist, one tends to seek acceptance. What do you think? Call me by dialing 2460 2058, 2460 2058. This is your nation station, your program Love Your Life, with your host Mayya Al Said. Let me know, what are your thoughts on this topic of today, which is stop seeking perfection. So as a perfectionist, as I said, one tends to want acceptance. What will others say? What if I fail? What if it doesn't work? All these questions, one of the thousands of questions that goes on in somebody's mind. And I believe we have a caller. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam, Mayya.
How are you?
Alhamdulillah, very good. Mu'tasim here.
Hi معتصم, كيف الحال?
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. What are your thoughts?
I just wanted to let you know that I'm suffering with the same trait.
Alhamdulillah. So I'm not alone.
No, you're not. You're not.
Okay, so how did you actually always know that you were this? I told you, I told the listeners and you, of course, that this is something that I only discovered recently about myself.
Okay.
Did you always know you were a perfectionist?
I knew that for a while, and I thought it was a good trait.
So did I.
Until I realized that it is holding me back from doing lots of things.
Mm.
Yeah, and I totally agree with your conclusion that it's tied with the fear of failure.
Yes.
Lots of times we delay getting things. For example, one of the things I'm struggling with is I begin something and just close to finishing it, I don't tend to close the thing and just realize that I might have something else to improve in it.
Yes.
And having this, sometimes if I don't have clear deadlines, I kind of delay closing something, just realizing that maybe there's something else to add and improve upon it.
Mm.
Yeah, it's just I have a question, Maya. How to overcome this this trait of trying to be a perfectionist? I'm posing a question to you because I know that you're suffering from the same thing and you were able to overcome it.
I was able to overcome it, but you know what? There's still some traits that I find very difficult to stop. So I've not completely overcome it, but as I said earlier, I'm work in progress. But I'll try and share some tips as to how I overcame some things.
Okay, very good. As just what I want to make sure that if you can highlight on this as well, the idea of not being perfectionist, but at the same time being excellent at work.
Okay,
there's a fine line between trying to overcome perfectionism and being complacent of not getting something done excellently. So where's the balance?
Okay, I'll try and see what I can do. Thank you so much, Mu'tasim.
You're most welcome. Yeah. Thank you very much.
You're most welcome. As-salam. So that was Mu'tasim Al-Sharji, who was previously a guest and has one more episode. Don't forget, Mu'tasim, that you have to join me on Love Your Life. And so one of the questions that Mu'tasim asked me, by the way, before I answer the question, how rude of me. You guys, you can call in too. All you have to do is call 24 60 20 58. Sophia is laughing there. So 24 60 20 58. The topic is Stop Seeking Perfection. Reminder, only call me when it is safe to do so. I don't want you risking your life or the life of others around you. Before I answer some questions as to how I overcame this, I just want to reiterate something before the call, which was, as a perfectionist, one tends to seek acceptance from others. What will others say? What if you fail? Again, touching upon fear of failure. And what if it doesn't work? Now, to answer Mu'tasim's question as to how I personally overcame this. First of all, I don't think there's one thing that I did that would just, solve the problem. I think it's something that we have to work on every day. And we have a caller. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam, Mia. How are you doing?
Alhamdulillah, how are you?
I'm great. Just driving back from work, and there's a bit of traffic, so it gives me the opportunity to talk to you from the car.
Okay, so for once, I thank traffic, but thank you so much for calling me. So what is please introduce yourself.
My name is Farik.
Okay.
And I normally get the opportunity to hear you
at midnight
on the way back. Now, today's topic, excellence has something to do with being a perfectionist.
Yes.
You cannot be excellent in whatever you do and you outdo the others unless you have that sense of, perfectionism in you. This is very important. It does cause stress, but again, it has to be in a way that you choose what you can be a perfectionist in and not in everything that you do.
Yes.
Because if you do everything in a perfect way, well, you're going to be in trouble.
True. Is that okay? Thank you so much.
All right.
Thank you so much for your call, Farid.
All right. Bye.
Bye. All right. So thank you for calling. So you're saying that we should, it's important to want to have or be, to strive for excellence, but it shouldn't be in everything. But even if we choose to focus on one thing, we have to kind of be able to let go. And because yes, it's good to want to do something perfectly, but we shouldn't beat ourselves down when it doesn't happen, because the fact that we actually did it is an achievement in itself. More than happy to hear from you. I remember Mu'tasim asking me how to overcome this. I want to answer, but how about I ask you that question? How do you think somebody should overcome being a perfectionist? And call me, let me know. You can do so by dialing 24 60 20 58, 24 60 20 58. But because I don't want to wait so long and I'm already at the point where I want to share, so I will share, but please don't let that stop you from calling me. So as an example, if I had listened to my perfectionism trait, I wouldn't be here today because I know that if I wanted this show to be perfect. Oh, we have a caller. Assalamu alaikum. to be perfect. Oh, we have a caller. Assalamu alaikum. May I please ask you to reduce the radio, please?
This is Zainab.
Hi, Zainab. Just reduce the radio if you don't mind, so you can just hear me through the phone.
Yes, okay.
Okay.
Just the topic. I'm hearing you every day because it's on my way back to home. And just it's interesting topic.
Okay.
Always we are burning ourselves. We want everything is perfect.
Yes.
At home, at work, everywhere.
Yeah.
And, everybody, I think, have the same feeling. One time you will feel burnout. So when you burn out, you will try to stop it. It's correct or not?
Yes, it is. And the thing is, we shouldn't reach that burnout stage, because when we reach that burnout stage, it means we have given everything that we've got. We no longer can give anymore, and we haven't reached our target.
Yes, and I think we need a break, and we need to sit down and think about ourselves.
Yes.
And we try to fix everything without, sometimes, even we are not trusting others to do things.
Yes.
We should share responsibility with others. Everything you are doing alone, it's not always, you cannot do it perfect.
True.
But you are thinking that you will do everything perfect by your own. This is the things that always you are facing.
Yeah, as I said, a perfectionist is very difficult to work with. Even so, if you can imagine, if you have a manager or a director who's a perfectionist, he can't have reached that stage easily, because he is the type of person, as you just said, would want everything to do on his own. But as a manager or as a director, when you have a position, and you have people, you have to delegate. Otherwise, work will not be done, and you will reach that burnout stage as well.
Yes, that's correct. That's only just I want to hear your voice. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Zainab. Have a good day.
Bye.
Ma salama. Thank you, Zainab, for your call, and all my other callers. This show, as I always say, and I'll say it every time I'm here, this show without you is going to be very boring, just listening to my voice all the time. So please call me. Let me know your thoughts. This show is for you. I'm here for you, to inspire you to live a life that you love. And you're more than welcome to do so by calling 2460 2058. That was quick. We have a caller. Salam alaikum. Salam alaikum.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. هديل كيف حالك؟
الحمد لله Sheikh Hatem. How are you?
Fine, thank you. How's things?
Alhamdulillah, all is well.
Alhamdulillah. A very interesting topic today about being a perfectionist.
Yes.
And I think there are 3 ways to get rid of this.
Please share.
There are 3 ways for you to get rid of the trait of being a perfectionist.
Okay, number 1.
Number 1, work in a team.
Okay.
Number 2, delegate tasks to others. Number 3, trust people. Learn how to trust. And there is a very good book that is talking about this. It's called The Speed of Trust.
The Seed of Trust.
The Speed of Trust.
The speed or the seed?
The speed.
Speed.
Yeah, you are the speed of trust.
Okay.
Shukran.
Afwan, thank you so much for your call.
Okay.
Ma salama. So as I was saying, first of all, thank you, Sheikh Hatem, for sharing the tips. Just to repeat what he said we should work in a team to overcome perfectionism. We should delegate, and we should trust others. But my question is, this is all good when it's something that you're doing in a company, or there's a project that you're working on together as a team. But what if you're on your own? What if there's some issues that you have to deal in your life? How do you overcome that? Let me know. Call me by dialing 2460 2058 2460 2058, and we have a caller. Salam alaikum.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
منير, كيف حالك? How are you?
الحمد لله.
الحمد لله.
كيف حالكم؟ كيف صحتكم؟
Alhamdulillah, we're all well. Thank you so much for calling. Let me know, what are your thoughts on today's topic, stop seeking perfection?
I cannot hear your voice, sorry.
Okay, is this better?
Yes.
Okay, so I was saying thank you for your call. And what are your thoughts on today's topic about stop seeking perfection?
Yeah, being perfectionist is not always, negative.
Yes.
And it's maybe a good thing to have in a person. And in a short phrase or a sentence, I can quote, and I like to quote, it's Allah does not ask you to be the best, but He asks you to do your best.
MashaAllah.
So, yes, so to be a perfect you need to believe that you need to do your best. And you don't just keep it very general or open. You need to limit it with standards. So if you are to be a perfect in something, you should define what being perfect in that thing.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you want to be perfect in what? Just, give me an example. Like if you want your writing to be perfect, you should put some limits.
Okay.
To get 100% or 99 to be perfect, is it to get 99, to get 95? So something that you would be satisfied with and to be recognized as well.
Okay, that's a very interesting way of looking at it.
Yeah, so I'm trying to suggest something as you requested that you need someone to suggest something.
Yes.
So being perfect, yes, all of us should be to act as perfectionists in one way or another. By doing your best. And even in Islam, فَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ مَا اسْتَطَعْتُمْ. You have to be righteous the best you can be.
True.
Yeah, so...
But you shouldn't
there should be
go...
some limits there.
Exactly.
Standards that people agree upon. In this course, to be perfect, to get over 95. It's the A mark.
Yes.
To get A minus, it's over 90. In colleges and universities. This is I think... almost perfect. Someone who gets over 90 to 95, he has done, he has met all the outcomes.
But maybe to a perfectionist, Munir, this person needs to get 100. And if they got 95%, it's not good enough. So
okay. So how do you get 95? Get 99 or 100? Then you need to see that. What are the things that you need to keep in mind?
Yes, so they can achieve that. But the thing is, one shouldn't beat themselves up when they don't get what they initially wanted, what they see as perfect, because just the fact that they tried, just the fact that they took the time and effort to actually do it, that in itself is an achievement. But from a perfectionist kind of from a perfectionist kind of mind, that's not good enough. So this is why I want to try and talk to people and approach the subject and see, look, you might think that it's not perfect, but the fact that you did it is good enough, and people won't really remember how well you did. Did you get 99.9 or 100? People won't remember those kind of details. Only you.
Yeah. I agree with you. But if things are clear, what defines perfection, then it will be easier to meet it.
Yes, that's okay. I see what you're.
Yeah, I had an experience of publishing a book. I co-worked with other people. So. Yes, it was very hard, to publish something, to be seen by others.
Yes.
While you feel still it's imperfect.
True.
Because every time you look at your work, you are unsatisfied.
You feel you could have done better.
Because you find things here and there. You look at it the second, the third, the 10th, the 15th time.
Yes.
You feel there is something that should not be seen by others.
Yeah.
But you will reach to a stage that this is a human work. A human being work.
Yes.
You need to reach that conclusion, or you need to convince yourself inside first.
True.
That whatever you do, you will not be perfect. As you said previously, that how can you be perfect in an imperfect world, right?
True. That's very true. Thank you so much, Munir, for your contribution. Much appreciated.
Thanks so much, and I hope that I can follow you up in the coming, inshallah.
Inshallah. Much appreciated. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you so much. As I love hearing from you all and your contributions. We'll just take a short break and then we'll be back where I can hopefully share my story on how I overcame this.
Oman is a country full of treasures, from its people to its history, beaches to its mountains, deserts to its wadis. Show off your knowledge of this great country and win cash prizes with Talal this Ramadan on weeknights and Hafid every weekend from 10 p.m. to midnight. You can be a winner on Treasure Wadi.
Treasure Wadi.
Now, let the party begin.
Win cash prizes and surprises here on the Nation Station. Oman FM present Ramadan Bonanza. Join June and the team on the Nation Station, Oman FM, every evening,
8 o'clock to 9 p.m. at Muscat City Center.
Lots of prizes and surprises await you. Come along and be a winner. Ramadan Bonanza.
Love your life.
Love your life.
Welcome back to your nation station. This is your host, Mayya Al Said, on your program, Love Your Life. Today we are talking about stop seeking perfection. And you're more than welcome to call me by dialing 2460 2058, 2460 2058. A reminder that this show started at 2:30 and will finish at 3:30. And there'll be a repeat at 10 past midnight. And you're more than welcome to join in, as I said earlier. And if you're interested in listening to all the past shows, you can do so by going on YouTube and dialing and typing the Sewist. So before the break, I was talking about how I was a perfectionist, how I think I still am, if I'm really honest with myself. And okay, we have a caller. I hope I get to tell my story. Assalamu alaikum, Dr. Mukhtar.
Yeah, walaikum assalam. Sayyida Mayya, how are you?
Alhamdulillah, how are you?
I'm good.
Tell me your thoughts today.
Yeah, I think once a perfectionist, always a perfectionist.
I know, right?
It's really difficult to control your drive you already have developed.
Yes, it is. And that's why I'm saying I
guess there are, as the previous caller said, there are definitely some benefits being perfectionist, like you can do your work more organized. The end result will be more polished. And you will meet the expectations of people very easily because your bar of performance is very high.
I know. But
one I found that I have a hobby of being a photographer. So in photography, I learned to put attention in details.
Okay.
And it really helped me being a perfectionist.
So you're telling me you want to be a perfectionist?
Sorry?
You are telling me you want to be a perfectionist?
I am.
You already are?
Yeah.
And you are okay with it?
Yeah, up till now, okay. But sometimes it, makes you more anxious and you can get yourself depressed easily.
And that's the thing. That's why I'm talking about it today.
Another interesting thing in medicine, what really drives me crazy more, when I read that the perfectionists, they have more incidence of psychiatric illnesses.
Oh, no.
Really? Like anxiety, depression.
Subhanallah.
There is a medical term called OSD. Obsessive compulsive disorder.
Subhanallah. OCD. Yes, I've heard of that.
These are the people who have the obsessions and compulsions. They do things repeatedly. So there is more incidence of OCD in people who are perfectionists.
Yeah.
So that's my only worry. Otherwise, I'm okay with that.
No, inshallah.
Sometimes it can annoy you, your partner or your wife or your co-workers. But otherwise, I don't think there is any problem with this.
As long as you're able to control it. And anything in life, whatever it be, perfectionist.
Definitely. And I'll add another point to Brother Hatem's solutions. I think by lowering the threshold of your success, you can control it.
Lowering the threshold of your success.
I mean, at work or in being a student, if you are expecting to score 95%, you just lower it down to 85 or 90%.
Subhanallah. Yeah, I guess that's a way we can deal with it.
And reduce your...
True. Thank you so much, Dr. Mukhtar, as always.
Welcome.
Ma'as-salama. If you've just joined us, this is your nation station. You're tuned in to me, Mayya Al Said, on your program Love Your Life. If you're listening to this at midnight, I'm not here in the station. I'm here from 2:30 to 3:30. Call. The number to call is 2460 2058. 2460 2058. Today we're talking about stop seeking perfection. I'm about to tell you, inshallah. Maybe not, because we have a caller. Anyway, I said that the reason I was a perfectionist, I believe I still am, and if I gave in to that notion of wanting everything to be perfect, I wouldn't be here on the radio today. Okay, now I promise to continue my story. I have a caller. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam, Sayyida Mayya, how are you?
Alhamdulillah, Nabhan, how are you?
Very good, very good. Thanks for the great show again.
You're most welcome. Thank you for your time and tuning into your nation station.
My pleasure.
What are your thoughts today?
I totally agree with all what you have said.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to give an advice to the perfectionists.
Okay.
Is that you don't need to see the opposite of perfection is actually the bad performance or the low quality.
Mm-hmm.
Not at all.
Okay.
Not being perfectionist does not necessarily mean you compromise quality and you compromise high standards and so forth, but rather it's about basically accepting yourself, and you are a human being at the end of the day.
Yes.
And having said that, you are going maybe to have space for some failures and some mistakes to have in place.
True.
It is not a black and white thing, and that's why you find those perfectionist people, they tend not to take risks and try new things, yeah?
Yeah.
And they always only go for the things that is actually either black or white, but the real life is not like that.
Funny you should say black and white. I'm wearing black and white today, and I'm a perfectionist. But yeah, you're totally right.
Exactly. And the other thing, just imagine you do any performance and you've been told it's perfect. And you know what is the consequences? You will never improve.
Yes. Or you will always strive for that perfection, and anything lower than that you feel, no, I'm not good enough. I need to be perfect. So you put yourself under so much pressure and stress.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Nabhan, for your call. Much appreciated.
My pleasure. Ramadan Mubarak.
Same to you. Allah Yassalmak. Thank you, Nabhan, for that contribution. You are more than welcome to call me, just like Nabhan did and many of the previous callers, by calling 2460 2058, 2460 2058. The topic we're talking about is stop seeking perfection. Okay, so can we do this now? Ahmed's laughing. Okay, so as I was saying, I wouldn't be here today if I gave in to this notion that I'm going to fail. I've been on the radio before as a guest, but never doing what I'm doing this Ramadan with Love Your Life. And in my head, I was going, the following thoughts I had: what if I make a mistake? And if you've listened to me, even today, I've made so many mistakes. But you know what? Who remembers them? Who will remember when listening to the show, you know what, Mayya said this instead of this? So what? I want a show that I'm able to inspire people. People are able to listen in, to tune in. It makes sense with them. They can call in, they can contribute, This is what this is about. We are human. We are going to make mistakes every single day. This is how we were built. We need to accept that in ourselves. So this is a trait that we have. We make mistakes. I like to laugh at my mistakes. I like to learn from my mistakes. That's how, I've kind of overcome this, because I should be okay with making mistakes, because guess what? Everybody does. And I must admit as well, I was very selfish. Only thinking about me and my thoughts and my actions. Oh, I'm going to be on the radio, people will listen in, and stuff like that. But it was all about me and my fear. It all surrounded me. But when I shifted my focus to people, to you, then things began to happen. Then I was able to gain my self-confidence in doing what I can do, because it was not about me. It was about what I could offer you, the listener. So through that, I'm here every day during the whole month of Ramadan. And the journey that I have taken, even for these 16 episodes, have been huge. And the contribution I've been getting, alhamdulillah, it seems to be increasing every day. If I didn't believe in myself, if I didn't stop or limiting myself because everything had to be perfect, then I wouldn't be here today. And we have a caller. Okay, I'm going on with my story. Assalamu alaikum.
Hello, assalamu alaikum, Sayyida Mayya.
Wa alaikum salam, Ali. How are you?
I'm fine, alhamdulillah. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, I am well. Thank you so much for calling.
Thanks to your inspiring and wonderful show every single day.
Jazakallah khair. I'm so glad.
Allah Yassalmak. And first of all, I would like to really thank you for the story that you have just shared. And honestly, I do agree about, just being a perfectionist, like what you said. It's just about feeling good about yourself.
True.
And being a perfectionist doesn't mean about those small things, those small mistakes that like me or you, anybody else does. It's about just feeling good and just, creating a positive impact or, just feeling good about oneself.
Yeah,
that's what I think is about being a perfectionist.
Yeah,
it's not about being perfect.
Subhanallah.
Being perfect is about feeling good and feeling great about oneself. That's exactly how I feel about it.
That's a beautiful way of saying it. And I think it helps, as always, when I say, there's a purpose. And when I say there's a purpose, I always remember Mu'tasim al-Sharji, who always says you need to have a purpose in anything that you do. And
That's
when
right.
you have that and you shift the focus from you to something that you want to do, that perfectionism tends to kind of dissolve.
That's right.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Ali, for your contribution.
Thank you, Sayyida. Thank you.
You're
All
most
the best.
welcome. Thank you. With that, Ahmed, we'll take a short break and we will be right back. Don't you go anywhere.
The Messenger of Allah, peace be upon him, said, "Whoever provides the food for a fasting person to break his fast with, then for his is the same reward as is the fasting person's, without anything being diminished from the reward of the fasting person." The Oman Charitable Organization has the pleasure of announcing the start of this year's Ramadan Iftar Meal Program, and we kindly seek your participation for the sake of needy families in Oman during this holy month. All are requested to join in such a humanitarian and benevolent cause by sending your donation through account number National Bank of Oman 104 933 779 8001, Bank Dhofar 0104 0609 09 0001. SMS messages with a cost of 500 basis. Oman Tel 90022, Ooredoo 90909. Donations portal for charitable organization www.onlinedonations.org.om. The office building is at Al Quair 33 area, street number 47, side Sultan bin Said bin Taimur Mosque. The branches are in Salala at Al Sada, Sur, Al Murtafa, Sohar, Al Hambar. For more information, you can call 2429 7996 or 2429 7993. The Charitable Iftar Program from Oman Charitable Organization.
Love your life.
Love your life.
Welcome back to Your Nation Station. This is your host, Mayya Al Said, on your program, Love Your Life. Today we're talking about stop seeking perfection. I have had great contributions. Guess what? I want more. Call me. Let me know what are your thoughts, and you can do so by calling 24 60 20 58, 24 60 20 58. There is no such thing as being perfect. It does not exist. So don't let this false notion stop you from living your life. I believe we have a caller. Salam alaikum. Salam alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam, Sister Mayya.
How are you, Ahmed?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Thank you so much for tuning
in. Thank you for
in.
the very interesting episode.
You're most welcome, alhamdulillah. What are your thoughts on the topic?
Well, I just want to say that sometimes, we need to consider, or we need to talk about the external factors that contributing to producing, such people.
Okay.
Sometimes, maybe parents, push, their kids, to be so.
Yes.
And as a result, we have kids who are victims,
Yes.
of such an approach. The same thing, when it comes to school, sometimes you find teachers who are pushing, for perfectionists. And then, who's paying the price, some students. And then with we tend to categorize them, like good or bad, and then we'll put, certain criteria and features or characteristics, for each type.
Mm-hmm.
And then we try to single out people from that list. So there are other factors, actually, that we need to consider. Like we need to look at the whole situation and which factors could contribute to having such people in the society.
Subhanallah. Thank you so much for your thoughts on this topic.
Thank you.
Have a good day. Drive safe. Ma'a salama. Okay. So thank you, Ahmed, for your call. And funny enough, the next point I was going to talk about was parents and children and the pressure they put their kids onto. If you've just tuned in, this is your nation station. This is your host, Mayya Al Said, on your program, Love Your Life. You're more than welcome to join me in this discussion of Stop Seeking Perfection. And you can do so by calling 2460 2058. 2460 2058. So very well, just as Ahmed mentioned, that as parents we tend to put so much pressure on our kids, and I am guilty for doing that, unfortunately. But we tend to put pressure on them, the way they have to act, the way they have to be. Basically, we want them to be perfect because we love our kids and we just want them to be the best they can be. But putting that kind of pressure on them at such a young age is really very, I think, stressful for them. My daughter, Hadula, is a perfectionist, and to the point, that sometimes she doesn't want to make a mistake. And especially when she's trying something new, it has to be perfect from the first time. And I always tell her, Habibti, it doesn't have to be perfect from the first time. Just keep trying. When it's to perfect, I don't know, whatever it is that she wants to do, she just wants it perfect from the first time. I said, nobody is born knowing everything. Nobody's born without having to, this notion of everything has to be right. I can't fail. You have to fail. This is how we learn. This is the beauty of this life that Allah has blessed us with. So, it's and I feel guilty because I know that I had a part to play. And at one point, as I said, I was quite proud of this perfectionist trait that I have. And now that I see it in my daughter, I'm thinking, it's not so good, is it? Anyway, let me know your thoughts. Call me. And you can do so by dialing the following number, 2460 2058, 2460 2058. I am not perfect. No, are you? What I am doing right now, this show today, is not perfect. But you know what? It's okay. Too often we set ourselves to try to attain the unattainable. We need to relax, chill, just enjoy, and do the best you can do. I remember Mu'tasim was saying that in a workforce that we don't have to. Being a perfectionist doesn't mean that we don't do our job the best we can be. We have a commitment. We are paid to do something, and we have to do it the best to our capabilities, our abilities. And yes, we should strive for perfection, but it doesn't mean if you're not going to get that perfection is we don't do the job. We have to do the job. It's our responsibility, because if you don't do the job, guess what? There are other people who would love to do what you're doing. So just be grateful and do the best you can do. Today, we are talking about Stop Seeking Perfection on your nation station. You're more than welcome to call me. Maybe we have time for just one more caller. And you can do so by dialing 2460 2058, 2460 2058. If you are a perfectionist and want to kind of change, first of all, this change is going to be a work in progress. One that you have to do every day, especially when you find yourself in situations where you know what you're doing and you know that there's a terminology for it, that you need to be kind to yourself. Realize that what you're doing already is an achievement. And even if you don't get the goal that you want to do, the fact that you're actually doing it is something to be proud of. And we have a caller. Salam alaikum. Salam alaikum.
Hello, Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
Marhaba, Sayyida Mayya. This is Najah.
How are you, Najah?
Okay, finally.
Yes, finally we speak, huh? Thank you so much for your call, Najah.
Thank you, and thank you for all your excellent topics.
Jazakallah khair.
That really inspired us. every day.
Alhamdulillah. Thank you so much.
Alhamdulillah.
So let me know what are your thoughts on today's topic.
I was a perfectionist.
Okay. So I'm glad to know people are coming out.
I hope I have overcome that. I just wanted to add that it really affects the relationships, all kinds of relationships, actually.
Yes.
Not only the motherhood relationship to the children. I don't. I've missed the first part, but I don't know if you've mentioned that.
I did, in a sense that in terms of, when you a perfectionist, it's very difficult for people to work with you. But of course, I should have added live with you as well, because as you say, it can affect all the relationships that you have.
When you're a perfectionist, you would like everyone around you to be perfect.
Yes.
Including your parents, your mother, your husband, your spouse, your friends.
Yeah.
I had a friend who was a perfectionist as well, and it really affected our relationship because she was expecting me to be there like 24/7.
Yeah.
And of course, you can't expect so much from someone. Everything has a limitation.
True.
Same thing with your sisters, with your brothers. You keep comparing maybe sometimes with others who have other sisters and brothers or other spouses or other mothers. Like, why she has this mother and I have another mother who doesn't do what she does.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah,
like
I know what you mean.
You tend to think like, okay, why is she not good enough like someone else's mother?
Yeah, subhanallah.
Yeah, subhanallah. And it really affects you so badly, and it affects that person as well. Because you keep somehow trying to make that person feel that he's not good enough for you.
Yes, but we have to also realize that, although from a perfectionist point of view, we are not perfect either. No one is perfect. Al-kamal lillah. So
Kamal lillah. So it's for you and for the other people as well. So you don't expect to have a perfect spouse and a perfect mother and a perfect children. You know what I mean?
As I said earlier, we strive to have a perfect life in an imperfect world. Nothing is perfect. Anyway, thank you so much, Najah. It was lovely hearing your voice, and inshallah we'll be in touch very soon, inshallah.
More, yeah.
Thank you so much. You're most welcome. You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, so that was Najah. This is your show, Love Your Life, and I will have to kind of wrap up. We don't have much time. So as I was saying, if you're a perfectionist, I would recommend that you be kind to yourself. Nothing will ever be perfect. You have to you have to agree with that. Sorry. Remember, you are good enough, maybe better than you think. People who are who strive to be good enough do great things. They become filled with passion, they become filled with desire, they become filled with motivation, because they are not hindered by believing their efforts must be flawless. And as always, I like to end with a couple of quotes. Jazakumullah khair. Engineer Ahmed is showing me that they're callers, and unfortunately the lines, I can't pick up anything. I just have 1 minute left. I have to wrap up because there's Salat al-Asr after this. So thank you so much, but please call me tomorrow. And before, let me see, what are we talking about tomorrow? Tomorrow we're talking about live in the moment. So I really hope that if you didn't get a chance to be on the show today, inshallah you can be on it tomorrow. Just to wrap up, the last thing that I want to talk about in stop seeking perfection is you were born to be real, not perfect. Don't waste your life chasing perfection. Beauty is the attractive power of perfection. Strive for perfection in everything you do. The essence of being human is that one does not seek perfection. With that, thank you so much for your contributions. Thank you so much for giving me your time on your nation station to listen to me on Love Your Life. From Engineer Ahmed and from myself, Mayya Al Said. Ma salama.
Love Your Life. Love Your Life. Love Your Life. A show like no other. One that aims to inspire you to live a life you love. Choosing to be positive and having a grateful attitude is going to determine how you're going to live your life.
Love yourself.
Love yourself.
Love your day.
Love your day.
Love your life.
Love your life.
Love your life.
Love Your Life. Prepared and presented by Sayyida Mayya Al Said.
Love your life.